2019, I found out I had an anxious attachment style. So I spent the last 7 years of my life immersing myself in learning about attachment theory, emotional regulation, and neuroplasticity through reading books, videos, articles, and courses. One of the most life-changing skills I have learned at all is how to manage my emotional state, how to recognize unhealthy patterns of relating to myself and to others, and how to break free from them. It's hard to include everything I did to heal in one video, otherwise it's going to be too long. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the top 5 steps that helped me go from anxious to secure, and the healing techniques that helped me do that. Before we get into the 5 steps, I want to stress the idea that with knowledge and the right tools, healing and becoming secure is very doable. Neuroplasticity proved that it's possible to rewire our brain regardless of age. That being said, maintaining a secure state requires certain habits and rituals to keep us from falling back into unhealthy patterns of relating. Right, let's get into the 5 steps. So the first step that I did was to learn how to go from co-regulation to self-regulation. The thing is that individuals with anxious attachment use their relationships with other people as a source of the safety and calm that they are wanting to feel. This is called co-regulation. I started practicing self-regulation by learning how to calm my nervous system down to give it the safety it craves in someone else's companionship. The reason I started with nervous system regulation is that emotions like anxiety and fear drive negative and catastrophic thinking, which results in frantic or what's called protest behaviors, things like excessive calling, texting, or constantly seeking reassurance. The fastest 2 ways I found to calm my nervous system down are these. The first one is to splash some cold water on your face, or jumping between 10 to 15 times and then sitting down and doing between 10 to 15 deep explosive breaths. The second fastest way to calm my nervous system down that I learned was meditation. Meditating between 15 to 20 minutes, first thing in the morning when I wake up or last thing before I go to bed. These are the 2 best times. Now here I want to share with you 2 of the biggest insights that I learned from meditating consistently for 7 years. The first insight is that I learned not to believe every thought I have. This means that I learned how to observe my thoughts instead of engaging with them. For example, thoughts like I'm not worthy, I'm not lovable, or I'm not enough are no longer thoughts I believe in, because I know that they are part of an old unconscious programming that was created during childhood when I did not have access to consistent love and attention. This is not my current reality, and it's not the truth I choose to believe in. Second biggest insight that I learned from years of meditation is that I can have a thought or a feeling and not act on it. This helped me to reduce impulsive behavior. So for example, I can feel, oh, I miss him, or I can think, God, we were so meant to be, but I still don't act on the thought or the feeling. So I don't text, I don't call, or I don't check his social media. Because now I know that my behaviors are driven by my standards, not by my random thoughts and feelings. Second step that I did was to strengthen my self-worth. The reason is because when I used to have anxious attachment style, I used to depend on my relationships to prove that I am worthy of love, that I am worthy to be with. Of course, that meant that when this relationship comes to an end, this person is no longer with me. This is when I start questioning myself. What I learned to do is I learned to separate my sense of worthiness from any relationship or any external achievement that I have in my life. So my worthiness depends on how much I value myself, knowing that I am here for a reason and that only the fact that I'm here means that I'm worthy of everything that I want. I'm worthy of love, I'm worthy of attention, and I'm worthy of a great relationship. This means that a person can leave me, I can still grieve, but it's not going to make me feel that I lost a part of who I am, because my worthiness is no longer depending on this relationship working out or this person being in my life. Number 3 is to become my best friend. Core wound, or the biggest fear for me as someone who used to have an anxious attachment style, was fear of abandonment. So to get over this fear, I made myself the promise that I would never ever abandon myself again, no matter what. This means that I will no longer accept disrespect or let others put me down just for the sake of external validation or fake companionship. I learned to be okay with rejection or people leaving me because I don't take it personally anymore. Someone chooses to let go. There's nothing I can do to change that. So I might as well accept it, make peace with it, and learn to appreciate the people who stay versus ruminating on the ones who leave. Step number 4 was to practice assertive communication. I learned to communicate my needs without blame, judgment, or aggression. Let me tell you, that was a challenging one to do in the beginning. The reason it was challenging is because I had to learn how to not feel guilty when people don't take this the right way. So if someone felt angry or frustrated when I communicate my needs to them assertively, I just let them deal with their own emotions. No longer feel guilty because I know that it's not my responsibility to fix other people's problems. 5 is to be selective of the people that I have relationships with. Usually my inner circle or the people that I spend most of my time with. And one important thing to say here is that no avoidance, because avoidance push every single button someone with an anxious attachment style has. And even if after you move into becoming more secure, having a relationship with an avoidant can trigger you back. So for the sake of your own peace and well-being, focus on relationships that are built on reciprocity and mutual accountability. Let me tell you about the healing techniques that helped me. So what I noticed is that what helped me was more like a holistic approach to healing anxious attachment. For example, cognitive behavioral therapy helped me to recognize and challenge negative thinking patterns. Things like dialectical behavior therapy and assertive communication helped me to change my behaviors. Things like meditation, somatic experiencing, and breath work helped me to change the chemistry of my body because, as you might know, trauma, childhood wounds, they are stored in the body as energy. Mindfulness helped me to stay present in the now and instead of dwelling in the past or worrying about the future. This in turn reduces the production of stress hormones, which cause anxiety. The last thing I want to stress in this video is that it's important to believe that healing from anxious attachment is possible. Because if you think that this is impossible, this can't be done, you're not going to put in the work and therefore you're not going to get the result you want. I'm here to tell you that. There's so much proof in science that changing our brain wiring is possible. So I hope you found this helpful. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or thoughts. Take care of yourself and I'll see you in the next video.